Hello everyone. If you see the previous lecture, in that one I derived dimension of a different quantity. So after deriving dimension of different quantity, there is a next topic, application of that dimension. See, we can find out dimension of any given quantity, formula is given. So after getting that dimension, next topic is application of a dimension. What will be application of a dimension? First application of dimension to check correctness of a formula. To check correctness of a formula. And this thing also called homogeneity principle, means one formula is given. Using this dimension we can check that formula is right formula or wrong formula. This concept is called homogeneity principle. How to check that? So if any formula is given and I need to check that formula is right formula or wrong formula, in that case what we'll do, I'll find out left side dimension of that formula and right side. If left side dimension will be equal to right side dimension, it means that formula is right. If left side dimension not equal to right side dimension, it means that formula is not right. For example, if I take one formula, t is equal to 2 pi under root L divided by z. So I want to check this formula is right formula or wrong formula. This formula is given to us and I need to check this formula is right formula or wrong formula. So what I'll do, I'll check left side dimension, then I'll check right side dimension. If both dimension will be equal, left side dimension equal to right side dimension, it means formula will be right formula, otherwise it will be wrong formula. Okay, let's check left side dimension. So left side dimension, if I check LHS left hand side, so if you see this is time. So time dimension you already know, time dimension is capital T. And this 2 pi is a constant, and in dimension we never care about constant. Means whatever constant is there, we neglect that. This is disadvantage of a dimension. We always neglect constant, dimensionless constants like 2 pi. In place of 2 pi, if there will be 4 pi, if there will be 8 pi, if there will be 20 pi. We don't care about that. Means whatever constant will be there in the formula, dimensionally we will neglect that constant. So you forget about this 2 pi. So if I forget about that 2 pi and I see that right hand side, so right hand side RHS, in RHS there is a one formula that is under root L by G. What happened to this one? 2 pi I forgot. It's a disadvantage of a dimension, we never comment about a constant. So here L is what? Length. Length dimension we know. Dimension of length is what? Capital L. And dimension of G. G is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. So dimension of G is equal to dimension of acceleration, because G itself is acceleration due to what? Due to gravity. So you know what acceleration dimension is? Lt minus 2. Now this L and L get cancelled. So what I'll get? If I solve this one, I'll get 1 upon. Now if this t will go up, so I'll get under root t square, and that will be equal to finally t. So if you see right hand side dimension, RHS is equal to t, and left hand side dimension LHS is equal to t. It means if left hand side dimension is equal to right hand side dimension, this formula is right formula. So that's how we check any formula is right or wrong. Now second thing, one more example I take, the concept will be more clear. For example, if I write this formula, f is equal to 2 pi mx divided by f. I want to check this formula is right formula or wrong formula, where x is length, m is mass, f is force, and this is not f, this is t. Again what I do, left hand side dimension, then I find out right hand side dimension, but in between what we need to do, whatever constant we'll get, we have to neglect that. So left hand side dimension, if you see left hand side, that will be what? T only, that is time. For right hand side dimension, RHS, right hand side dimension, first thing I neglect this 2 pi, I won't consider, I forgot about that. So I need to consider only this one, mx divided by f. And m dimension is what? That is m only. Dimension of m, that is m only, and dimension of x, that is L, because x is a length. And dimension of f dimension you already know, that is mlt minus 2. Now this ml and ml get cancelled. So what I'll get? 1 divided by root of t power minus 2. Now this one will be t square, that will be equal to t. It means left hand side dimension is equal to right hand side dimension. Both are equal. it means this formula also right. So similarly, if any formula given to you, so what we have to do, left hand side dimension, right hand side dimension, we'll check dimension, both are equal, means right formula, otherwise it's a wrong formula, that's it. Okay, I'll give 2-3 numerical based on that, then concept will be exactly clear. I'm writing 4 numerical over here, 4 questions, just like v is equal to u plus at. Second one, s is equal to ut plus half at square. Third one, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Now I want to check this all formula is right formula, wrong formula. So what I'll do, left hand side dimension, right hand side dimension, v is velocity, so left hand side dimension if we see that will be lt minus 1. Right hand side dimension, u dimension lt minus 1, dimension of a, lt minus 1, dimension of t, dimension of a lt minus 2, dimension of t, t only. So if I solve this one, finally what I get? Left hand side lt minus 1 and right hand side 2 lt minus 1. See, this one become lt minus 1, this already lt minus 1. If I add these two, that become 2 lt minus 1. So 2, what I'll do with 2, this 2 I'll neglect it, it's a constant. So what I'll get? lt minus 1 is equal to lt minus 1. It means simple, this formula is right, a right formula. This is right formula. Similarly, for second one, what I'll do? This is distance. Distance formula is what? L. Right hand side, this is what? Velocity. Velocity formula lt minus 1. Now, this is t. Time formula t only plus 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is constant. Constant will neglect 1 by 2. I left it. So lt minus, what's the acceleration dimension? Lt minus 2. And what's the dimension of this t square? So if you see here L, left hand side dimension L, right side this t and t get cancelled, it become L. And this one will also become L. So finally what I get from here? Left side L and right side also L. What happened? L and L it become 2L. So here L and that is equal to 2L. This 2 I'll neglect, this 2. So finally what I'll get? It means this formula also right. So third formula you have to check. This is your assignment, third formula you have to check. First one is right, second one is right, third one you have to check it's a right formula or wrong formula. Means if any formula is given, dimensionally you can check it's a right formula or wrong formula. So this is application of dimension, guys. Now, second application of this dimension, conversion of the units. Second application of this dimension is conversion of a unit. Means we can convert one unit to another one. Just like unit of length is meter. Unit of length is meter, MKS unit. But unit of length is centimeter as well. So if I want to convert something from meter to centimeter, in that case we need dimension. But meter to centimeter, if you are converting something, it's a very easy. Everybody remember. So that is simple thing. But if any other thing, just like something else, if I am talking about, for example, MKS unit of a force is what? Newton. MKS unit of a force is what? Newton. And CGS unit of a force is what? Dynes. MKS unit of force is what? Newton. And CGS unit is what? Dynes. If I ask you in one Newton how many dynes? So that need dimension. In that we need, if I ask you 1 meter how many centimeters, so you remember, you will say this is the answer, like 1 meter 100 centimeters. But if I ask in 1 Newton how many dynes, so in that case you need dimension. So second application of this we can say it's a conversion of a unit. Conversion of a unit. This is the second application of a dimension. So I'll take one example like MKS means meter, kilogram, second. MKS unit of force, we know it's in Newton. MKS unit of force is what? Newton. And CGS unit of a force, CGS means centimeter, gram, second. CGS unit of force, that is dynes, E dynes. Now using this I need to find out in 1 Newton how many dynes will be there. So MKS unit is what? Newton, and CGS unit is dynes. I want to use dimension to find out in 1 unit how many, in 1 Newton how many dynes will be there. So first step what we'll do, let's look at this. First step what I'll do, first I'll write dimensional formula of force. We know dimensional formula of force MLT minus 2. Then I write this one 1 Newton. This one I'll write mass, it's a 1 kg. MKS form I'm writing. This one length I'll write 1 meter. This one time I'll write 1 second. Power minus 2. Everything is 1, but I wrote this complete equation in terms of MKS, meter kilogram second. Now this is MKS form of this formula. This formula MKS, like everything meter kilogram second. Now this same formula I write in CGS unit. CGS unit of force is what? Dynes. I write this one dynes. And CGS unit of mass is what? Gram. So I will write here 1 gram. CGS unit of length is what? 1 centimeter. And CGS unit of time is what? 1 second. So this one is force formula for 1, but this one in MKS formula. This one in MKS form and this one in CGS form. So what I'll do, I'll divide equation 1 by equation 2. If I divide equation 1 by equation 2, what I'll get? Just see what I'll get. So 1 Newton divided by 1 dynes. Finally I'll get 1 kg. Here 1 meter. This one 1 second power minus 2 divided by 1 gram. This one 1 centimeter, this one 1 second power minus 2. Obviously this get cancelled. Now I can write 1 Newton divided by 1 dynes. 1 dynes is equal to 1 kg. What I can write? 1000 grams. So 1000 gram I'll write. 1 meter what I'll write? 100 centimeter. And here 1 gram as it is. Here 1 centimeter as it is. So centimeter get cancelled, here also gram get cancelled. It means 1 Newton divided by 1 dynes, that will be equal to how much? This is 30, this is 20. How much? 10 raised to 5. It means 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 times. So guys, this is how we convert MKS unit to CGS unit. So if somebody asks in 1 Newton how many dynes will be there, same thing we'll do. And finally what we'll say? 1 Newton will be how much? 10 raised to 5 times. This is the second application. This is the one example I gave you. There is so many examples, just like energy MKS unit is what? Joule. CGS unit is what? ERG. So in 1 joule how many ERG will be there you can convert. Means from one unit to another unit you can convert using dimension. So this is the second application of a dimension. Now there is one more application of a dimension, that is derivation of a formula. So we will complete that one as well in this video. So third application of dimension, derivation of a formula or else to derive formula. So using dimension we can derive formula. Obviously some parameters should be given. So here next one, third one is to derive formula. This is next application of the dimension. For example, if I say, like in question, if they say force depend on mass, force depend on mass, it's a given in the question, and force depends on acceleration. Then derive relation between force, mass and acceleration. Once again I repeat, it's a given in the question. Force depend on mass, it's a given. Force depend on acceleration, it's a given. Now they are asking what will be relation between force, mass and acceleration. So using dimension I need to derive. So many people already know that formula, but let's say you don't know, and using dimension you need to derive that formula. But this term will be given. This is the part of a question, it's not part of answer. Means Force depend on mass, force depends on acceleration. That will be part of question. Now they are asking what will be relation between force, mass and acceleration. The question itself, it's a given force depend on mass. It means you write force is equal to m power alpha. Force depend on mass. Force directly proportional to m power alpha. Here we can write force directly proportional to a power beta, where m is what? Mass, a is what? Acceleration. Force depend on m, force depend on a. And what is alpha beta? Later on we'll know what later on we'll get what will be alpha and what will be beta. But right now m is what? Mass, and a is what? Acceleration, and f is what? Force. Now if I solve this, if I combine these two things, so what I'll get, f is equal to some constant at m power alpha and a power beta. This is what I'll get. I combine these two things, and after combining these two things, if I combine this one, I'll get this f directly proportional to m power alpha and a power beta. So after combining these two things, if I remove proportionality, I get one constant. That constant is k. First I combine these two, I got this, and after that I neglect this one, I get this one. Not neglect, sorry. I'll just remove this one. Proportionality constant will get. Now what's the dimension of f? Dimension of f you know that is m lt minus 2. This k dimensionless constant. This is m power alpha, and here a is what? Lt minus 2 power beta. If you see what's the power of m over here? 1. Power of m over here 1. And what's the power of m over here? Alpha. It means alpha is equal to 1. Once again I repeat, what's the power of m over here? 1. And what's the power of m over here? Alpha. It means alpha is equal to 1. What's the power of t over here? Minus 2. And what's the power of t over here? Minus 2 beta. It means minus 2 beta is equal to minus 2. See, what's the power of t over here? Minus 2. And what's the power of t over here? Minus 2 beta. It means power of 2 t over here minus 2 beta, and here it's a minus 2. So I'll equate both. Minus 2 beta is equal to minus 2. Both sides power of t will be equal. So here minus 2 get cancelled, and beta also equal to 1. It means I got alpha is equal to 1, and I got beta also 1. So after getting alpha beta 1, what I'll do? I'll put that value over here. Where? Here. Not here. Basically I put value over here in this one. If I put that value over here in this formula, so what I'll get finally? F is equal to k and m power 1 and a power 1. Because in place of alpha what I got? 1, and in place of beta also I got 1. So 1 and 1 value I'll put over here. I'll get f is equal to kma. Km into a. And k is 1. Why k is 1? Simply we remember k is 1. Otherwise you can see it's the first formula we derived. Newton's law is the first formula we derived in physics. Basically we can say that's why simplest value for any constant is 1. सबसे simple value क्या होती है? 1 होता है. इसीलिए आप उनको k is equal to क्या रखना है? 1 लिखना है. या फिर आप बोल सकते हो आप you remember value of k will be 1. So if I write f k is equal to 1, I'll get f is equal to ma. So I derive this formula. So many people they already know this formula f is equal to ma. But let's say you don't know, just like you have to act like that you don't know this formula f is equal to ma, and it's a given force directly proportional to mass and force directly proportional to acceleration. Means it's a given the question, force depends on mass, force depends on acceleration. Now you have to derive formulas. So using dimension you can derive formula, guys. So this is third application of dimension, guys. Thank you.